Welcome to BDO Radio. This is recorded on March 14th, 2016, and I'm your host, Brent Copeland. And today we're going to talk about some stuff that I've been doing this week, some news items, a few mail items that came in, possibly discussion topic if we get to time, and maybe a couple tips and tricks as well. And if you want to join in on the conversation, you can just tweet me at BDO Radio, as well as leave a voicemail at speakpipe.com/BDO Radio. Also, you can email me at bdoradio@gmail.com. And lastly, there's a new Facebook group. I don't know if this is needed or not, but if you're on Facebook and you want to leave some messages, it's facebook.com/Black Desert Online Radio. It's the only different one. Sorry about that. Things happen. Someone already had the other one, so that's what I had to do. But how's everybody's week and BDO going? You might have noticed that kind of branching out and not doing it in the car anymore. It seemed like maybe there was enough people interested in the show to put a little more effort towards it. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm playing around with different logos. I'll probably change them every week until I settle on one that I like, but this is the updated one right now. But this week I finally bought a house, actually my second tier house. One is a storage, and I need to buy more. It's just I'm out doing other stuff, and that's, you know how it is in this game where it's like, oh, I need to do this, and I want to do this, and I got to do this, but kill, and so I don't know, like I spent a day just like grabbing because I took my own advice on the tip to open up all the quests. If you remember that, just go to your bring up your quest log and the buttons up top, and also it was like a whole new world, bunch of quests everywhere, and I started grabbing them all, and it was like that's all I could do was those quests, and it kind of put me out of doing that. But I did get to do a few other things that I had fun doing. I did want to tell you about, I rode all the way to the end of the world, at least in my world, past Calpheon, down to the Epheria Port, and it's beautiful. I won't tell you all about it, but like just another example of how well they did ambience, location, and like you come riding in and it's like the vista is just incredible, and you get there and there's stuff that I hadn't seen before, but it made so much sense at like a port see stuff. So if you get a chance, head over there and take a look out for it, take a look at it, something, right? Also, another thing I started doing was a little bit, because of these quests opened up, I did some of the trading quests that I hadn't seen before, but in siuta, from Serendia, or the, is that the right? Anyway, she's the trade manager up there by the horse dude, and she gives you these quests to take, buy stuff from her and go sell them at this other dude, and then you buy stuff from him and bring it back to her. And I swear this is like a scam that she set up in the game, because it's like, it's not a good deal. At least at the time I did it, it was not a good deal. I did not make money on one of the sales. And maybe that was, you're supposed to learn maybe that you buy it there and go run off and sell it way off somewhere else and then come back to talk to her. But I was just doing it easy, so I'd go between her and whoever she said, and then whoever that and back. And it's a scam. Telling you, watch out. Go sell it somewhere else. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Just really taking in Calpheon. It's such a huge city. You can see a little background if you're watching the video as well. Real religious aspect of the church here, and it just feels like a huge kingdom, or not kingdom, but a huge like city, and it's so well done. Just got to do it. Great leveling area for where I am. 35 plus outside the gates. There's some crazy folks and just tear them up and get XP and money. I've also been pumping all my points into that node to see if it makes, a huge difference. And I haven't seen like, oh, look, all this crazy loot, but it feels like I'm getting more of the, I I forget what it is off of them, like tokens or something that you get, 100 of and go sell them to someone. I feel like I'm getting a lot of those, so it definitely feels like a lot more money. So seems worth it. I'm only to level 4 there, working on level 5. I did get my pet up to level 10, and it looked like the XP stops. Is that as high as I go? 10? Someone tell me. And are you supposed to like make them like you do horses somehow? Is that in the game? I haven't seen it, so I have to look. I want to get my pet all as high as possible. Speaking of pets, it's my doggy, my big doggy in the other room. Anyway, let's move on to some news. Don't have bumpers in the show yet. I will work on those, and then we can go news, something like news, news. But that doesn't really sound like Black Desert. It's kind of like the logo. It's not all Black Desert-y either. It's here's what I wanted to do for the logo. I wanted to find an old-timey radio like this, but then make it black, red, and white, and make it resemble the Black Spirit. Like have the red eyes with the white squirrely eyebrows and black, but like one of these old-time radios, and do it. That's what I'm looking for, but all the radios I find the buttons are on the bottom and I need them on top, but I've got a good friend who can do logos. I might see if he'll do it for me. Anyway, news. Black Desert Online, the subreddit, broke 30,000 subscribers. Way to go, everybody on the subreddit. Great job. Great posting, making it content that people want to come see so we can grow that Reddit and keep reading the Reddit. So, great job, everyone. Also, speaking of awards or votes or something, MMORPG.com has voted Black Desert Online the top voted game at the moment. And this is between, I guess I could show you a little bit of it, but this is between a few different games. They gave them an 8.59 rating. And you can definitely go over to MMORPG and probably read more about it. But, they're up against Guild Wars 2, The Secret World, Final Fantasy 14, which it's really good. I don't know why Smite's on the list because it doesn't seem... I guess it's a popular game, but it seems... I guess I was looking at these thinking they were all MMOs. I don't know if Smite's an MMO. It's a really good MOBA, though. I do a podcast on that game too, on Smite. So, and that's with a group of people, and there's a bunch of episodes. But anyway, great game. So to see this one above that one, and it has taken me out of Smite. I have only played one night of Smite over the past since BDO came out, really. So, and that was the night we did the show, and it was like, dude, you got to get in and play. So, did. And I had fun. Smite's an awesome game. Anyway, this is a BDO podcast, but great. Thanks, MMORPG, for getting them up on the list. Also, there was a couple new articles I want to throw at you. There's one on Rock, Paper, Shotgun. One of the editors did an article about their experience with the game. So check that out over at Rock, Paper, Shotgun. Also, if I find news that I didn't know about but is kind of old, I'm still going to throw it out at you, possibly if it was new to me, because I figure that means it's probably new to someone else. So if you've heard some news, just, be glad that you know the news more than me. But there was something on the forums that I wanted to mention is that they have a streamer application, because they have a Twitch channel that's the Black Desert Online official Twitch channel. And what they say they will do is if they get enough people, or if they get people signing up to basically be streamers, that they'll start hosting all the streams, and they'll kind of have like a network where they'll just switch between the streamers. So you can go sign up for that on the website in the forums. I believe it's under the media one. If you are a streamer, and let me know. Let's hook up and kill some stuff together sometime, and we can do a live stream. Live. If you're interested, if you want me to start doing the show live streamed, I can do that as well. Just let me know. Also, a guide. This is kind of your guide of the week from MMO Gypsy. Did I add an extra M? It's MMOgypsy.com. It's a cosmetics guide, and I found this interesting because Well, I kind of think the same way. I'm always looked like a very destitute wizard in the game until I got my costume from the Beauty and the Beast contest. And so at level, oh, I didn't even mention I'm up to level 36, but like 10% from 37. I still look like a destitute wizard without that costume. So, like, how can you change your look? Because you know that it doesn't change much without paying for the costumes. Let me know what you think about that too. You know, realizing that that's besides the $30 they get initially. Do they need to change the pricing of the costumes and stuff? Here's my take on it. I think they absolutely do. I think they need to make less expensive costumes, less expensive barding for your horse, and maybe even something for your pets, different colorations for your pets and for your mounts, and do different tiers. Do like some cheap tiers that a lot of people can buy, right? And they'll look a little bit better. All the way up to like a third tier, which is a very expensive costume or decorated pet or mount or something that has very ornate, detailed, and maybe even some extra effects and stuff on it or something, right? So you have this whole tier of items and just get more items out there. I was kind of surprised that the game being out so long that it didn't have that. And you can see games, free to play games that do this, do really well. Smite, you only pay for the God packs once. Like League of Legends and most of the other ones. Well, Dota, I think you get all the heroes for free, but like League of Legends, you got to buy each hero. Like you can't, and you can buy packs of them, but it's like 5 of them or something. I think maybe a few more. But Smite lets you buy all the champions forever for $30. You just get it forever. All the new ones that come out. So what they do to make money is they make a lot of different costumes or as skins for your gods and your heroes and stuff, so that you buy those, and they make so many that you're going to have something that you want to buy, and of different levels. So you can buy some with the favor that you get for playing the game. You can buy some with the gems that you buy, and then some for a lot of gems, and then some are just given out for special occasions. I think Black Desert Online should look at doing that. Hire a few more artists and start pumping those costumes into the market. Because there's a lot of people that won't buy them and will just play the free game for what it is. But there's a lot of people that will buy it. Just make it a value that we think is worth the money, right? That either cheap costumes for cheap money or very good costumes for a little more money. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you think. Tweet me at BDO Radio and hashtag costume talk. Something like that. That'll help us organize it. So anyway, back to MMOgypsy.com. They have released a cosmetics guide that shows you additional gear that you can get before buying stuff. So different costumes that you can actually get in the game itself. So head on over to MMOgypsy.com and look for the cosmetics guide. I will put these in the show notes, which will just be in the episode description as well. Okay, let's move on to mail. Mail. So this is from the different and various in many ways that you can get in touch with me. We got a few this week, so I wanted to throw those out there. From Feradec, says, I enjoy the podcast, really loving the game as well. Thanks for the effort. Helps me get a bit of BDO fix while at work. I'd love a weekly hour-long episode. However you do it, I'll keep listening. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. May get a host in soon. Another gentleman that I do a lot of podcasts with. I really would love to get him in on it because he could sit right here in the room, and it's so much better discussion on a podcast when you're like there. If he doesn't end up jiving with the game, I may look for someone else. I've had a few people online who have asked if they could host, and we'll talk about it. It's a hard thing to do, though, just to say, yeah, come host with me, because you could get someone who's just you don't work well with, that takes a lot. So, but it also takes a lot to do like some sort of casting call, and it feels like the show is not big enough to do like a casting call. But you really just don't want to do a show with someone who you don't know what they sound like or how they're going to communicate with you. They could almost kind of take over the show, be real aggressive and things like that. So it's like it's hard to deal with that sort of stuff. So it'd be nice to have someone locally that I've already been recording with, honestly. Doesn't mean that I won't look at getting an outside host at some point. The other thing is scheduling. Like I'm on 6 podcasts now, so getting all the schedules down for all the podcasts. This is kind of the one, actually one of 2 that I do by myself, so I can do them when I have the time and I can wedge it in there without pissing my wife off, which is a good thing. So thanks for that, and yeah, this is kind of the format that I'm going to go with for now until and if we get another host. A little sip of my beverage. At Camp the Cam sent a tweet that said, at BDO Radio. And I had asked earlier this week if you'd like to see longer format, so that's why we're getting these. Yes, I would like to see a longer show. We need more community podcasts. So far, I have found you. I'm glad you found us. Keep listening. Feel free to tweet more, email, send in the speak pipes, all that sort of stuff, so that we can fill up the show. Because honestly, I think if I did the daily kind of 15-minute show, it would get a little, I don't know, dry is the word. It also sounds like crap in the car. Like I listened to one of those episodes and I was like, sorry, and doing it every day, at this point in time, it doesn't seem to be enough content to really build that show up enough that I think it was worthwhile doing. I think maybe doing it this way with segments and kind of getting everything together for one show is working better. And it's worked better in the past with other shows. So I'm going to go with that. Doesn't mean that I won't just say, hey, I want to talk about this topic and do that at some point. Oh my God, my heart just dropped. I was like, oh my God, I think I forgot to record. I'm recording. We're all good. So let's move on to some tips and tricks. And so somebody can tell me if I'm wrong about this, but in the game, you have a lantern. It's a very necessary item when it gets dark, because it gets really dark. And if you don't feel like jacking with your video settings because you can do this, you can crank the gamma way up in your video settings while reducing the contrast, and that'll blow out your picture and make it where you're able to see at night. But you'll either be playing with a really crappy looking video, or you'll have to keep resetting it every time. Just buy a lantern. They're only 5,000 silver, and you can buy them from the general goods vendor anywhere. It seems like well worth it. Now, my question is, they also sell for 1K the oil. Now, it seems like the lanterns last for like 3 days. Is that right? I think that's what I read. And the oil only adds 3 hours each time, and you get 5 doses. I've only done it once, and it was like a week ago, so my brain may be forgetting some things. But just the math in itself, I mean, that's 15 hours opposed to, 3 days. Right? So 5K versus 1K for the time, it seems like, well, I guess so. If you bought that 5 times to equal to 5K, that'd be 25. It'd be 75 hours versus like 24 or something. Because I don't know. Someone do the math for me. Hate math. Let's figure out which is the best. But honestly, if you've filled up your lamp with oil before, it's not the most fun process. It's just an extra thing that you got to fiddle with, when it's much easier to just buy a lantern or 2. Or don't buy 2, because I think it might start. Does it tick down if you aren't? I don't know. I think it doesn't tick down unless you're actually using it. But anyway, just buy the lantern and throw away the other one. Like, that just seems easier. But someone do the math. Let's figure out the math and figure out like what the difference is between the two. Someone, if I can get a chance and remember, I'll try to do it too. But if someone else can do it, then we can check each other, check our math, grade it right, pass it into the teacher, get an A, that sort of thing. So anyway, I don't know why that's a tip and trick. I guess the tip is buy a lantern. Don't buy the oil. I may be wrong about that, but we'll find out. Also, another little tip that I wanted to mention that I actually used the other night, and it was really helpful, is if you're in dense grass, which this seems to happen a lot in Quest, right? You're like either, head deep in corn stalks or hay fields, or just the grass is high, and you've got to kill stuff in it, but you just can't see it. And you're like wading through it, and it's a great gameplay mechanic. Like, I love that they did that. But let's just say it's nice to have things a little easier sometimes. So all you have to do is look at your mini map, because on your mini map you'll see red squares, which are NPCs, and I think like enemy NPCs that you can attack. Orange squares are ones that you have quests to kill. So you can just use your mini map to see where they are, and almost not even look at the the screen, like the grass that's in your face anyway. Also, on your mini map, the white squares are other players. So I don't know how that works if people are turned PvP. I haven't really done any of the PvP. Well, I take that back. I did hop into the arena the other day because it's right between Calpheon, the big city, and where I've been leveling with the what would you call them? They're like lepers, basically, outside the city. And I got owned. I don't know what levels the people were in there, but it really seemed like if I let like a tamer or whatever get close to me, it was game over as a wizard. So there's going to be a lot of like running as a wizard and teleporting and just staying away from folks. Okay, those are the tips of the day. Now, I threw in here a discussion thing, and I did want to check real quick. I want to talk about the Ghilli suit. I don't know if you don't know what the Ghilli suit is. You can look in the store. You can pretty much search everywhere Black Desert Online in the Ghilli suit and find information about it and what it is. But basically, the problem, or what it is, it's a suit that, and you've probably seen people in it, that camouflages you. And you've seen people that look like a tree running around, basically. I mean, not without the limbs, but a bunch of leaves over them. And I believe it also, because your nameplate's hidden, it's actually really good at like camouflaging you. And so a lot of people are really worried, since it's a pay for item, you pay for it in the store, that people are going to have an advantage in the PvP with this suit. That's the general understanding that I've seen from the conversations about this suit. If I'm wrong about that, just let me know. But what do you think about that? If there's like, personally, I definitely don't want any what we call here in America the pay to win items, like having to, if they said, hey, get the best sword in the game for $20, like, it's time to unsub, right? I mean, if you're into the PvP. So where does the Ghilli suit fall on the line of this? It seems to be a definite advantage. Would there be a difference if it was an in-game item that everybody could get? Or is it something that shouldn't be in the game at all? Let me know what you think. Give me your opinions about it. And we'll talk about that. We'll actually have the discussion next show. So hopefully I can get some ideas from you and questions about it, or comments about it, so that we can have a nice little almost pseudo conversation about it. So you can leave me a voicemail, which would be great. I'll just play them live. I got a soundboard here that I can just gong your idea or give you some applause if it's a great idea. But we can throw those in and just go to SpeakPipe, and that's speakpipe.com/BDO Radio, and you can record it right there. It's like a Flash or HTML5 recorder, so it'll just be like, "Can I have access to your mic?" And you just record. Try to keep it fairly short, under 30 seconds. They get too long, it's hard to play them. And I don't know what the limit is on that thing. I want to say a minute or two. So I'll try to keep it down. Also, you can tweet if you got a quick comment at BDO Radio. Email me, bdoradio@gmail.com. Let's pump up that Facebook, and maybe we can play some slots together on Facebook. What? Don't send me any requests for the Village games or the Hitman. I can't stand those. I just play the slot machines on Facebook. That's it. Anyway, that's facebook.com/Black Desert Online Radio. Send me in any ideas that you want me to talk about. I've had a couple on the Reddit as well that people want to discuss some issues with the guide that I talked about in the one issue, the BDO Bible. Apparently there was some drama, controversy, something tied to it about the people maintaining it and where they got the information. And it looked like last time I looked at, they're really trying to do a good job of telling where they got that information from, attributing. But, some people might not want you to attribute. Some people just may want you to go to their website and get the info. So I don't know the whole story behind the whole thing. I did, put the link out there for people to do it. Buyer beware. It's a good resource regardless of where the info is. But if they're using info from people who don't want them to use info, they should think a second about that. Anything else? I guess that's about it. So, maybe I'll see you in BDO. Like I said, I play on the Orwin server. I'm normally on Calpheon 1. I'm in a small guild with some friends from the MMO show. If you like more talk, we had a long discussion, and I gotta say, I was pretty drunk for that discussion about Black Desert Online in the last episode. It was really good, and it was all the way from two of us who were really getting into the game, one of us who was kind of getting into it, and then one of the people who just did not get it. And you can see how this game's kind of like that it's really easy to just not like it. I think almost at some point you've got to get over the fact that you don't like some of the things in the game, right? Because it's so different from what at least I'm used to playing. So anyway, great conversation about BDO, and there's more people, and on the MMO show we'll actually be talking probably for the next few weeks while we're all playing the game. So be sure to pick that up. It's the MMO show, and you can get that at the mmoshow.com or on iTunes as well. We should be on iTunes now. I believe we are, so leave some feedback and subs there. But that's enough pimpage and stuff, because that's not talking about BDO, and that's what we want, right? So come back next week and we'll be talking about the Ghilli suit and what it has to do with the game. And is it a game breaker? Do we need to really push to try to get them to pull it out? And I think that's something we might be able to do if enough people hated it. I've seen a lot of people that just say quit your whining too. So I think it'd be a great conversation. So let me know what you think. I'm Brent Copeland. This is BDO Radio, and I will see you next week. Bye.